I've never seen a yacht like this in my dreams. Sailing the seas in boats so grand, it seems. But we're just humble sailors, salt upon our cheeks, gold classic every day of the week.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Boat Fools Sailing. Thanks for tuning in last week and thanks for watching this week. Big episode this week. We're going down to the great state of Maryland for our Boat Fools Top 10, and two of my heroes, Herby and Maddie from the Rigging Doctor, have agreed to co-host today, and I'm so excited to have them aboard. Welcome to the show, guys.
Thanks for having us. We're very excited for this.
Same, and I just want to say that we're hitting Maryland. We're hitting the top 10 coolest boats for sale for under $35,000, and I have to say the decision-making process was very difficult. How'd you guys find it?
Man.
Yeah, there's so many gorgeous boats, and the hardest part is not actually acting on it and going out and buying the boat.
Maryland is a huge hub for sailing. We have Annapolis, so there's always a ton of boats for sale and really good deals. So just sifting through and finding our favorites was actually a really difficult thing to do, but it was fun. We had a good time with it.
Yeah, so for those of you at home, we each picked three boats. Two we're presenting, one is honorable mention, then we have one wild card for the 10th boat. And yeah, I found the same problem, Maddie. Like, there are so many sweet boats, and winnowing it down to those three was really quite difficult. And just quickly, you know, I did a deep dive on Ancestry.com and 23andMe, and I found out we're actually related. And we're related because get this, we both own Morgans. You guys have the Morgan 45 and I have the Morgan 3823.
That's awesome. A fellow Morgan.
Hey, they're good boats.
Great boats, and that's how I found you guys on YouTube, was looking for other channels that had boat owners that owned Morgans, and you guys were really only the ones that popped up, and then I fell in love with their show. It's been fantastic, so I'm thrilled to have you here. Welcome.
Thank you so much for watching. We're really excited.
Oh my God, my pleasure. All right, so let's get right to it. So we're going to start. I'll go first, and then we'll alternate down through the list, and we'll vote up an eventual winner.
Sounds good.
All right, let's rock and roll. All right, so my first pick of the day is a 1987 Helm 27. It's called the Helm Horizon. I've never seen one of these before, and I thought it was stinking cute. Its list price is $15,500, located in Rock Hall, Maryland. And it's just this really sweet double ender. It's got the frame for a bimini, and it's got roller furling. It's a cutter rig, and it's like just an adorable pocket cruiser. So going through the photos, it's got a transom hung rudder, but it is actually a wheel helm on this. And the hull looks to be in beautiful shape, the gel coat, the bottom looks fine, and there are not many pictures. It's got a Volvo diesel. I think it's a 15 horsepower. And down below there are a couple pictures, but you can tell there's a table and a settee here, and then the galley across the way right here. You got a little gimbaled stove, sink, ice chest, I presume, under there. And here's the layout. So you've got a table that I bet collapses into a double. You've got a little head, V-berth, and a quarter berth, which I think you can see tucked away in one of these pictures. But I just thought this thing was adorable. And there's your quarter berth back in there somewhere. And it looks to be in reasonably good shape. And it's been owned for a while by the same owners, I think since, what did it say in here, 2013 or something like that. So they've owned it for quite a while. Holds 30 gallons of diesel, which is a lot for a boat that size. And I thought for weekend sailing, you know, coastal cruising a little bit, you could take this thing just about anywhere along the coast of Maryland. And it's got a shallow draft, and it was built in 1987, so it should be easy to insure. So looking at the sailboat data, you can see the cutter rig configuration on this. Nice big, looks like nice deep combings in that cockpit, so you can tuck yourself in there. And you've got a length overall of 27 feet, length on water of 23, a beam of nearly 10 at 9.6, fiberglass construction. I can find out about the decks. I suspect it's cored like most boats. Only 42 of these were built, so it's pretty rare. holds 30 gallons of water, and ballast displacement of 32, so reasonably stiff boat, moderate displacement at 257. Comfort ratio is a little low at 22, 21.89, because that's probably because of the short water line, and capsizing screening up 2, and hull speed of 6.43. So, you're not buying this for performance, but I think it'd be great on the Chesapeake, and the draft is only 4 feet, so pretty sweet for the waters down your way. So that's my first pick of the day.
Yeah.
Wow, you have a lot of details that you have included in your picks.
Well, okay. So a couple of things. There was another little tidbit about that. Most of those, the 40 that were made were sloop configuration. They only made a couple that were cutter. So like this is the rarer few, and then the bowsprit.
The bowsprit. Herby is a sucker for a bowsprit.
Yeah, that right there. When I was scrolling through, I saw the bowsprit. I was like, that one. That one is gorgeous.
So I felt the same way, and the transom's just so pretty on her too.
Yeah.
Here comes the butt.
Well, okay. So the capsize screening being over 2, that's not good. And I forget there's some race that if the boat has a capsize screening over 2, you can't even enter because you're deemed unsafe. So it's good for coastal. Absolutely. You got tons of room, tons of space, but it's not.
Looks like it's got a really nice beam. So
Yeah.
it's a comfortable boat for calm water. As
Yeah.
long as the water's calm. I get seasick, so I'm looking at that thing and I'm like, I would die.
The ratio is pretty low on this. Yeah, so you bring up a good point. That capsizing screening was developed after the Fastnet race, when all those deaths occurred in that 78 or 79 Fastnet. And I think you're right. I think you can't even do the Newport Bermuda race unless your capsizing screening is under 2, which is the benchmark. And it's all about righting moment. But yeah, you're right. Great for coastal cruising. I just thought it was adorable. I'd never seen one before.
Yeah, it's really
a cute boat.
And then the other thing, they're asking 15. You can get them down from there.
Right. If you could get this for 10 or 12, and you'd have yourself a sweet little pocket cruiser, in my opinion.
Or even a liveaboard. There's so much room in that boat.
Yeah.
Right. No, it looks it. It looks it. All right. So should we score it up?
Let's score it up.
All right. Let's go to the scorecards. All right, Maddie. You're up. What do you got here?
I'm up. Okay. My first pick was the 1977 37 Creelock. It's a blue water cruiser. That right there is the #1 reason that I chose it. You can see it's a gorgeous boat. It has external chain plates, which I really like, and which we're about to do to our boat. It's got a full keel, which is very important if you're going to be going ocean cruising. And it is a sloop, but we can get over that part. It's got a really roomy cockpit, which I like. The interior, it's a smaller boat, but I think it's very livable. So I look at these boats from the perspective of a liveaboard, and I just think that it's got a really nice layout inside. It looks like it could do with a little bit of maintenance, but the cost for this boat is really reasonable. I mean, the outside looks like it's in really good condition. It looks like it had a recent paint job, and I think this boat is gorgeous. And for ocean cruising, it looks comfortable, safe, heavy displacement, all of these things that I value in a boat.
It's a pretty boat, Maddie. Geez. And the list price is $12,500, located in Easton, Maryland. Is that Eastern Shore? Is that out on the shore?
Yeah.
Yeah, Easton is a gorgeous spot. I mean, if you're not even going there to look at this boat, you should visit Easton. It's so cool.
Another thing, when you're shopping for boats in the Chesapeake, they're cheaper on the Eastern Shore because no one wants to drive across the bridge to go see it. So they sit longer and the price drops.
See, that's some great local intel right there. Yeah, this was listed just a month ago. So the Yanmar diesel is a 2014 with only 1,100 hours on the sail drive on that. I mean, that's pretty sweet. I see what you're saying. The down pillow could use a little scrub. The sole floor could be redone, but whoop-de-doo. I mean, that's not a big deal. And It's got 6 sails, solar panels, wind generator, monitor wind vane.
Oh, the other big thing about it was the monitor wind vane. Sorry to cut you off. You just reminded me. This thing comes with a monitor wind vane. That alone is worth $6,000. So, I mean, and the monitor wind vane is amazing. It also has a wind generator and solar panels. So you're getting an amazing deal on this boat.
Yeah, you're getting a cruising ready boat.
Yeah.
For $12,000.
And it also has a single sideband radio for your offshore cruising, right? Because that's what you want to have on board for backup. Lazy jacks. It's got everything. And then I just wanted to see. Oh, yeah, this was part of the Pacific Seacraft family, and it says here that the interior needs some upgrading.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can do that work yourself, and if you don't feel comfortable doing that, it's not a huge boat, so it's not going to be a big deal.
Oh, the other thing, so when I bought our boat, there was a ton of stuff I needed to do to the interior to make it livable because the varnish was peeling. Oh no. And the surveyor, he told me, hey, live with it for a month, see if it still bothers you. It was about 10 years later that I actually fixed it. Like at that point, the birds like kind of picked at it. It's like, okay, now I need to fix it.
Well, the benefit is if you wait that long, there's less picking you have to do. It's mostly done by itself, right? Like it'll be easier to sand at that point. Well, let's look at the sailboat data on this. So super pretty boat. This one is a Marconi rig, not a catch, right? Yeah, it's the Marconi Bermuda rig on the subject, but it is cutter. And length, well, at least in the picture it is on Sailboat Data, it looks like it might be a cutter.
What it is that you can run a storm jib.
Ah, gotcha. Okay, perfect. And it's got a nice protected prop, which is fantastic, at least up in the main waters. You're not picking up pot buoys. Length or overall of 37, length on the water of nearly 28, 27 and 3/4, beam of 11 feet, and fiberglass construction, max draft of 5.33. Holds 40 gallons of diesel. That's also awesome for offshore cruising. You've got a good supply of diesel. 95 gallons of water, which is fantastic. Sail area displacement of 14.5, not the fastest in light air, but she'll go when the wind blows. Yeah, right. A lot of light air down on the Chesapeake. Balance displacement of 37.5, so a reasonably stiff boat. Heavy displacement at 334. Comfort ratio of nearly 34. That's going to be a comfortable boat. That capsize and screening is well under 2 at 1.72, so great for offshore, and an S factor of 1.42. So moderate performance, but you're not buying it for that. You're buying it to go explore the world. So,
Exactly.
Maddie, that is a solid first pick.
Thank you. I would buy it tomorrow, just saying.
And 12.5 too, right?
Yeah,
you can get that for less money than the little cute guy with the bowsprit.
Yeah, the little Holman, I know it. And have almost 3 times as much boat, or twice as much boat anyway. All right, well, let's go to the scorecard and score this one up. All right, Herbie, you ready for your first pick of the day?
Yeah, so this is a Sea Spray. It's a 34-foot. Now, it is on the higher end of the price, especially after her $12,000 fine, so it's kind of a moot point. But moot point. So, it's also smaller too. Man, you beat us on everything. Jeez. All right, this boat's it's immaculate. It's in Tracy's Landing. That's a little south of where we are. It's on the western side, so you pay more versus your eastern shore find. Okay, but this boat is it's immaculate. It's gorgeous. It's a fractional rig, so for upwind sailing, it's just a beast. And then it's a full keel, so if you bump into the bottom, you just get off the bottom either by a tow or the tide or something, but like no big deal. Like it's just everything about it. It's so pretty.
It is gorgeous, and it also has the
nice stern overhang.
The stern overhang, which we love.
Yeah, and it also it looks like it has a gory prop, so like you're getting a feathering prop on this boat, and those suckers are a couple grand. So
yeah, you're right. Look at that.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, woo! 'Cause I looked at getting one of those for a Morgan, and it was like $4,000.
Yeah, pass.
So we didn't. Yeah.
This is a really pretty boat. These were made in Rhode Island by CE Rider, and You mentioned the price, Herbie. It's $39,850. So we did say today was under 35, but no one's paying $39,850 for this boat.
Yeah, you bring them down. There's negotiations that happen. You have the survey come out. The surveyor is going to say all these things are horribly wrong. Walk away from the boat, and then you look at the owner and you're like, "Oh, do you want to unload it? Because it's a horrible mess here." And he's like, "Oh crap," and then brings down the price, and then you have a beautiful boat.
Yeah, and you've got a windlass on this thing.
Yeah.
I know. It's got like all these creature comforts. It's really nice.
Looks like it's got a wind vane.
Or wind generator.
Wind generator.
Yes.
Oh, look at it down below. I mean, this is...
Oh, man,
yeah.
that's gorgeous.
The boat's immaculate. Like, you're paying $40.
You got a gimbaled stove. You've
Yeah.
got the... Oh, man.
Yeah. It's like this boat is turnkey. Like, everything is just gorgeous in it. So you pay a little more, but then you don't have to put in all the legwork to bring it up to Bristol fashion. Like, it's done.
Whoa. Yeah. That's freaking out on me there.
They have a lot of pictures posted, and that's a good sign when you're looking at boats. If there's like 2 or 3 pictures and someone in there's got like a suit jacket with massive lapel pins from the 70s, you know that it's a really old picture and the boat does not look like that now. So like tons of pictures is a really good thing because the boats, like you can guess that that's current what the boat looks like now, and that it looks good enough that they're willing to put pictures of it.
That's an excellent point, and they take close-up of things too. This boat has sailed from Maine to Florida and the Bahamas, so she's well-traveled. You got a stack pack. You do have a Cape Horn wind vane on there. You've got a lot of things that you guys can all look through at your own time. The audience I'm talking about, but that's a really pretty boat. My one beef with this boat, and I've looked at it closely, and I'll show you. Is this right here between your helm, traveler, and your bridge deck looks like you're going to break your ankle in there one of these days if not careful.
I know what you mean. I'm not a fan of the traveler just behind the companionway because someone's going to be in the cockpit not paying attention because I'm out of the way. I don't need to worry. And then you tack and they get hit.
Yep. Or you take a funny step and fall and your leg is leveraged in there, and that could be a bummer. But you just got to be careful and be aware of it. But that's a really pretty boat. Full keel. Let's look at the sailboat data on that real quick. There's your fractional sloop that you mentioned. Nice protected prop. Like you said, you can bump along the bottom on this and not do any damage to it as long as it's sandy. Only 45 of these were built. Looters designed. Length overall of 33.84, length on water of 24, beam of 10 1/4, max draft of 5 feet, so pretty great for down in the Chesapeake area. And let's see, holds 18 gallons of diesel, and her sail area displacement is nearly 16 at 15.52. Nice stiff boat at 3906 with your ballast displacement, and she's a heavy displacement at 413. Comfort ratio, again, over 30 at 33. That's going to be smoking comfortable boat for you, Maddie, anyway. And capsizing screening of 1.76 and an S factor of 99. So again, not the fastest boat in light air, but when she blows, this boat will go and point because of that fractional rig.
Now, another thing, you can tell that a boat is designed to sail versus motor when they don't carry much diesel but carry a lot of water. Because that means that you're going to go for a long time and they know that you're not going to need the motor. So the fact that it's like a couple gallons of diesel and then 50 gallons of water, that's a really good sign. You'll see some boats that's like 90 gallons of diesel and 30 of water. It's like, yeah, you're motoring everywhere.
Interesting point. I'd never, ever heard of that. But I love these Sea Sprites. They're really, really gorgeous boats. And built in Rhode Island, Looters design. These things are solid and built to last. So that's a solid pick. You guys want to score it up?
Yeah, let's score it up.
Let's do it. All right, nice pick, Herby. All right, so my second pick of the day, which I'm now nervous to present based on the information you just gave us about a lot of photos per boat. They're not many for this boat, but she's a Morgan, right? And we love Morgans. She's a Morgan 35 centerboard, $15,000, listed 2 weeks ago in Chestertown, Maryland. And she's a 1971, and it's been repowered with a Yanmar with only 400 hours on it, new Edson steering, pedestal, and many upgrades, according to the short description, which is now making me very nervous. But it's a really pretty boat. The lines on her are spectacular, and it is a centerboard, which presents its own pluses and minuses, but it is what it is. So the down below is pretty straightforward and simple. Everything looks neat and clean. The toilet looks like it's been updated. Here's it looks like a Blackwater holding tank behind the head there. A little galley, and there's your V-berth and another quarter berth. And the floor looks like it's just fiberglass, so easy to maintain, low maintenance. And it looks like this table drops to fold into a double berth there. And it looks like the down below will be low maintenance. The hull looks like it's been painted or at least really well maintained. But it really looks like a pretty example of the Morgan 3.5. And I'm just such a fan of Charlie Morgan and Ted Brewer. I don't know if Ted Brewer designed this. We'll find out in a second. But just a lovely boat, in my opinion.
Well, all right. I have an issue with swing keels. They're excellent because when you're sailing, you can actually trim not only your sails, but also you trim your center of lateral resistance, so you can like perfectly balance the sail plan. But that pin, it's hard to inspect, and if the pin goes, your keel falls off. So like everyone's worried about keel bolts. It's like, imagine a keel pin, and it's one. So for that reason, I'm not a huge fan of centerboards and swing keel boats. And then the other issue is if the line that pulls it up chafes, breaks, any issue like that, your keel's now down all the way. So like your nice 4-foot draft is now a 10-foot draft, and then you can't even get back to your slip.
Right, that's an excellent point. But just quickly, since we're down in Maryland, do we really need that centerboard if we're just going to be doing some coastal cruising and that sort of thing? I mean, the water's pretty shallow down there.
They're so good. You point so well with the board down. It's night and day. Like if you have a centerboard, you're like, it's like running around with your pants down with the board up. It's like you can't, your legs don't go anywhere.
All right, that's an excellent analogy. All right, let's look at sailboat data and see what we can learn about this boat. Yeah, I will say I do love the classic lines and the really sweet sheer on this boat. I think there's a lot to like about her.
It's a gorgeous boat. It's got that stern overhang that we love about Morgans.
Yeah, above the waterline, it's gorgeous.
All right, here we go. The sailboat data. Morgan 35. I love the profile on this boat. I love the nice sheer on her. Nice lines. All right, length overall 35 feet. Length along the water of 27.58. You got a beam of 10.75, so nearly 11 feet. Max draft of 6 3/4 feet. And with your board up and your pants down, you've got a minimum draft of 4 1/4. That's pretty sweet. 140 of these were made. It is a Charlie Morgan design, not Ted Brewer. Really kind of cool. This says it's a universal atomic for the subject boat as a Yanmar, thank goodness. Holds 40 gallons of water, 26 gallons of diesel. Sail area displacement's not bad at 16.85. Nice stiff boat at 42. Moderate displacement of 253 and a comfort ratio of under 30 at 26.09. So not too bad. Capsizing screening of under 2, that magic number, and an S factor of 2.13. So not bad. Nice numbers. That's my second pick of the day. You want to vote it up?
Yeah, it's a good boat. That's for sure.
Yeah, a nice solid boat, and she's pretty as well. So yeah, that's my second pick of the day. What do you think? Should we score her up?
Let's score it.
Score it. Let's see what she gets.
All right, Maddie, you ready for your second pick?
I'm ready for my second pick, but I have to preface it. First of all, I thought that our budget was $40,000. So it's a little on the high side, but like we said before, generally you don't pay the asking price, right? So you'd be able to get this down pretty significantly from 40,000. So let's just pretend that we're still in budget. And the other thing I cheated on, which I just realized today, right before recording this, is that this is actually in Delaware. So I've cheated on 2 accounts, and I apologize.
For shame, Maddie, for shame. But look.
I know. I never was good at following directions.
This is not a hard and fast rule. And like you said, you're not going to pay 40 for this. You will get it for under 35 for sure. And Delaware is not that far from Maryland, and they border each other. So,
yeah.
Right. It came up on my Facebook Marketplace. So, like...
And you don't even need to go in the ocean, like...
Yeah, yeah.
You can sail it down in Maryland. All right, well, tell us a little bit about this boat. What is she?
Okay. Well, I'm still happy with my choice because I'm coming at this from the perspective of a liveaboard. And so to me, this is a super liveaboardable, which is a word I've just made up, boat.
Just pointing. I like it.
It's a 1985 Erickson 35. 35 is a great manageable length. If we flip through the pictures, we can see the cockpit is really nice and roomy. The boat has really nice lines. It's well taken care of. But what I really loved about this boat was the interior pictures. It is beautifully maintained. It has a teak interior, and it just looks very roomy and livable. What I love about this boat is that it has a keel step mast, which is really important for big time cruising. And even though it has a fin keel, we can get over that. And and note that makes it a faster boat and more maneuverable and everything you get from a fin keel. So I just think this is a gorgeous, well-maintained boat, and you would have a really, really good time in this boat. I think, especially around the Chesapeake, especially around the Delmarva. Yeah.
This is a really cool boat, and it's got one thing of note I just was reading. Not only does it hold 85 gallons of water, it holds 40 gallons of diesel, and it was repowered recently with only 170 hours on it. I don't recognize this brand, you guys might, but these Ericssons, it's a Bruce King design. These are pretty boats, and they're fast. And one of the neat things about these, and you guys can appreciate this headliner down here is all zipped. Right, it's got zippers. So to access some through bolts to like winches and whatnot or a traveler, you can just unzip and access it without ripping everything apart. It's really handy, but it looks really clean. And my buddy had an Ericsson 35, and
it's got top loading fridges, which I also really like as a liveaboard, because that really increases your counter space. And you can see that notch there. So you can tell that the interior is really built with cruising in mind. No sharp edges, really nice rounded corners there. So you can kind of chalk yourself in when you're underway and you're inevitably heeling over.
Also, it's got really nice fiddle blocks all the way around. So if you put something on the counter, it's not going to fall off.
Yeah, they won't slide off. So when I was really concentrating on the interior of this boat, just because it was clearly built with cruising, like ocean cruising or big cruising in mind, which is so important.
or there are two in your head, which is nice.
Another thing I really like, all the wood is inside. The outside is just glass. So maintenance is so much easier.
Yeah, sorry, that's an excellent point, Herby. And you have a Bimini and Dodger Lazy Jacks. It's really set to go, and a nice ladder off your transom for ingress and egress. Maddie, that's a nice boat. And my friend has had an Ericsson 35, and he had to get rid of it, and he just bought an Ericsson 32 too. And he swears by these boats, and he takes them everywhere. That's a nice pick. Let's look at the sailboat data on this. Like you said, she's 1985, so it's going to be easy to insure because it's less than 40 years old. It's a 35.3. And there's your fin keel you were mentioning that we have to get over, I guess. But I don't mind a fin keel. We have a lot of those. A lot of boats up here are all fin keel in Maine. So 35.5 feet overall, length on water of 28.87, beam of over 11 feet, 11.33. That's nice. Max draft of just over 6 feet. So a little bit deeper for the Chesapeake, but you'll be okay. And Bruce King design, as we said, 40 gallons of diesel, 50 gallons. This one holds 85 gallons of water, the subject boat. Sail area displacement, that's a lot of water. Sail area displacement at 17.34, so she's a fast boat. She's a good racer cruiser. Nice stiff boat at 40. Moderate displacement at 241, and a comfort ratio of nearly 26, so more of a racer cruiser comfort ratio. But you could take this across the oceans, Herby, 1.93, and an S factor 2.39. So fast boat. Good numbers. That's a nice pick. It's hard to have negative things to say about a good Ericsson that's in good condition, and this one looks to be in really nice condition, Maddie.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
I'm sure Herby and I would have found it too if we were looking in Delaware, but we weren't. So.
Now.
All right. Well, let's score it up. Nice pick.
Let's score it.
All right, Herby, your second pick of the day. What do you got here?
Okay, so this is a Babou 30. They are a famous blue water cruiser. I mean, they're gorgeous. They got a bowsprit. It's got bulwarks, full keel. It's a gorgeous boat, and it's only 20 grand. So that made it really hard to not go out and buy it and just add to the fleet. Because, you know, what's better than 2 boats? 3.
Oh, look at that gorgeous helm.
I know. And butterfly hatches. The woodwork in this is just so pretty. Oh, yeah. So it's a gorgeous boat.
It's a gorgeous boat. And where's Rock Hall, Maryland? Is that near you guys, or is that
Eastern Shore? Honestly, if you're sailing from Baltimore to Annapolis, it's your first tack. You sail to Rock Hall, you tack, then you head further down.
Nice bronze ports.
Yeah. Now, all right. The reason this wasn't my first pick, being how, you know, it's a cutter rig, full keel, like it's all the things I love. Its main detracting points. It has an iron ballast instead of lead. So that's not as dense, and also if it starts to rust, you have a big problem. Second issue is the butterfly hatches, while they are gorgeous and let in great wind from when it's blowing from the side, they leak. They leak so badly. Waves hit, it comes in through the hinges, so that's the main detractor for it. That's it. 2 minor points.
Smoking cool boat. She's 1980, so she's a little bit older in terms for insurance purposes, but you can find insurance. We profiled one of these up in the Pacific Northwest, and it is not quite as beautiful as this one. And this is really beautiful. Now, it's just noting that it's got reverse cycle AC, a Yanmar diesel. I don't think it says the hours, but it's got 12-volt refrigeration, and you got a chart plotter, and whoops, sorry about that. It just says the teak and holly sole needs a little bit of work. Who cares? That's easy. Let's see if there are any other details on this.
Now, one thing, a trick to the butterfly hatch is you get some Sunbrella canvas that just goes over it. So you're going out to sea, you cover it up. It doesn't leak. So it's like, it's not the end of the world, and it's gorgeous.
Yeah, I can get past a little leak to have those butterfly hatches. Holds 80 gallons of water and 35 gallons of diesel, and there's a 15-gallon holding tank. So it's got everything you need to go offshore and have a ball. That's a really pretty boat. I'm sorry I didn't see that before you. That's a cool boat. I'm trying to find a nice picture of it, but there she is. Let's look at the, I'm sorry, Maddie, I'm talking over you.
No, you're fine. I was just remarking about its shippiness. It's very shippy, and I love that. It's got the bulwarks, yeah, which we absolutely love. Yeah. Now that is a lot of maintenance, though.
Yeah, but the scroll work as well. Oh, it's so pretty, and a bowsprit.
It's worth the price of admission right there. All right, let's look at the, and she is fiberglass. It's just that's embedded in the fiberglass to make it look like wood. Yeah. So no one panic.
Lots of aesthetic choices.
Right. So here's it's a cutter rig, full keel, protected prop. That's awesome. Length overall of nearly 30 feet at 29.75. Length on the water of 24.5. Beam of 10.25. Max draft of only 4.75 feet. That's amazing. 170 of these were built in Taiwan. Bob Perry design. Volvo diesel. This one has a Yanmar. The subject does. And let's see. Sail area displacement of just over 15. Nice stiff boat at 40. Ultra heavy displacement at 379. Comfort ratio. All of your guys' boats have been really comfortable. 33.38. And seasickness in mind always. Capsizing screening under 2 at 1.77 and S factor of 1.12. So slow and light air, she'll go in a breeze. That's a really, really nice boat. I love these Babous.
Yeah.
Now you've said things about Taiwanese built boats.
All right. So now here's my issue with Taiwanese built boats. Is I was reading in one of the party books, there was a whole bunch of cruisers were anchored in Cabo, and there was a hurricane coming through, and the hurricane was supposed to blow from one way, and then it went its own way because it doesn't know the forecast. So it blew from a different way, and all the boats went up on the beach. All the boats that were European and American built went up on the beach. The couple boats, one was a Vagabond, the gorgeous Ketch. went up on the beach, and when the boat hit the beach, the cruisers jumped out and ran into the trees and hid. After the hurricane passed, they couldn't even find a single piece of their boat. Like, it just disintegrated. So there's a ratio where it's like, all right, how much does the boat weigh, and how much does it cost? And if you're getting a really cheap boat, like you're getting a lot of boat for cheap, it's because it's not as well built, and then you have a horrible situation like that and the boat will disintegrate. So this was also, it's a book from the 80s, but it's always stuck in my mind. It's like the Taiwanese boats, they're gorgeous, and they're also very affordable. And
this was built in 1980.
Yes, it fits everything, but it's a gorgeous boat. So it's like, don't be in a hurricane and hit a beach. But just a thing to consider.
A good cautionary tale. A good cautionary tale. All right, fair enough.
Just saying.
Yeah,
Just saying.
like we went up on a beach. It was not nice. It was not calm either, and we were fine. Like, we just got hauled off the beach and we were good. So it's like, oof. So that's why this wasn't my first pick.
What you're saying is buy a Morgan.
Yes.
Yeah. Always.
All right, let's score this one up. All right, so now we're going to go through our honorable mentions. We're not going to do the sailboat data. We're just going to blaze through and mention, each of us had one honorable mention today. So mine was a 1977 Endeavor 32-foot sloop, 19,900, located in Pasadena, Maryland. And it only has 1,834 engine hours. And I just thought for someone looking to upgrade or do some cruising around the Chesapeake or downgrade to a smaller boat, upgrade to a bigger boat, this would be a good one. You've got a Bimini, you had a Dodger frame, apparently it needs a new Dodger, and really simple, easy boats to sail. They're comfortable. The pictures are a little blurry, sorry. She is a centerboard, so Herby's not gonna like it, but the braidwork looked nice, and it looked, it's got a windlass, it's got a roller furling jib, and I'm trying to get down below real quick. You got a gas locker that looks ABYC compliant. Nice high combings in the cockpit. And the down below looks simple and easy. It looks like they have some rug down over the sole floor. So I don't know if they're hiding something or if it's just fiberglass and they put it down so you don't slip. But it comes with a TV and you've got a nice easy companionway, gas stove. But a really simple boat. Easy to sail, comfortable, and I thought it was worthy enough to make the honorable mention list. And the engine only had less than 2,000 hours on it. So, and a composting head. Whoops.
Nice.
Yeah. So that was my honorable mention. And Maddie, you had a nice one. What do you got here?
I agree. My honorable mention is a Bristol 30. This one's at $14,500, so it's pretty affordable. What I loved most about this boat was that the pictures show it like at sea. It is sailing, it is beautiful, it has pretty lines. There's a guy on it, so he looks pretty big next to the boat, which it's a smaller boat, but it's priced accordingly. So I just think that it has nice lines. The interior looks gorgeous. The interior is, I mean, it's hard to come up with anything not to like about it. And as you can see, it seats 4 comfortably in the cockpit. So I just thought this was a really nice deal. Really good boat.
Also, the helm, well, the helm being that far forward in the cockpit, you can single-hand it. You can reach all your winches and the wheel. That is a really, really nice setup.
It looks like you got auto helm on there, obviously, and you've got some solar, nice little hard, rigid bimini. It looks like it's decked out for cruising too. The notes does say that it needs a good scrub, and he's aware of that, but that's a nice looking boat, and I love Bristol's. But I am just going to throw a flag on this, Maddie. I mean, it's in Washington, D.C. I mean, maybe, do you guys consider that Maryland down there?
I mean,
yeah,
it's
that's a little square cut off of Maryland.
it's basically Maryland. I mean, come on.
They're not even a state. They don't exist. And Virginia doesn't want them, so they're Maryland.
Yeah, pretty boat. That's a Herreshoff design, and it's been extensively refitted and modified for blue water single-handed cruising, which clearly that gentleman right here was doing.
I mean, he's intense. You can tell he's got it going on. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah. That's a cool boat, and for that price of 14.5, you get that for 10 or less, or maybe 12 even. I mean, that's, you're not going to get hurt. And Bristols are just beautiful, beautiful boats. Nice pick.
Yeah.
All right, so Herby, you had this as your honorable mention. What is it?
It's a Freedom 28, and the best part about it is there is no rigging to worry about. It has a self-standing mast, so it's keel stepped, and just the mast step and the deck partner is all it needs. So you never have to worry about a shroud failure and your mast falling over. So just that peace of mind is really nice. It has a really shallow draft. The reason it's third in line is it's 28 feet and 20 grand. So it's a lot of money for not much boat. And Freedom rigs, they're top heavy. It's a very heavy mast because you don't have the rigging supporting it. So then the spar itself is really heavy. So they tend to heel more. There's a reason rigging is on every other boat, but it's a really cool boat. So you'd have a boat, like when you pull into an anchorage, everyone's gonna look and you'll be like, I've never seen that boat before. It's like, yeah, it's a Freedom boat, free of rigging.
Free of rigging. I like it, and at 19.5, again, maybe a little more expensive than some of the boats, but it's newer. It's 1988, so you're going to be easily insuring that. It's got the stack pack bimini, a self-tacking jib. That's all sweet. I'm sorry that's so blurry, but no, that's a nice boat. Friends of mine bought a used Freedom 35, and they love it. And this looks like it's ready to rock and roll. The cushion fabric looks nice and all that. So that's nice. Nice pick for an honorable mention. All right, so let's, we have a wild card, and Herby's also gonna tell us a little bit about this boat too, and that is this.
Bear with me. You wanna go sailing? It's $1,000. And these boats are fast. I've come across a couple people on them, and they love them. I've met people on the bigger versions of them, but I'm not good at pronouncing the name of the boat, but it's like Seidelman, and okay, they're just such good racing boats. So you want to go knock around, have fun on like a Wednesday night race, or just sail around the buoys or something, it's the boat for it. You want to sail somewhere further, you can make it, and you'll get there really quickly. So it's really cool for just like short little hops and stuff like that, a little weekend out, and it's $1,000. So if you want to go sailing, this is the boat that can get you on the water to then decide if you want to get a bigger boat or if this is good enough.
It's so cute, and it looks like it's in really good condition too.
Yeah, and there's not much to go wrong. It's an outboard, so like motor issue, you unbolt it, bolt on a new one for a couple $100, you're off. Yeah, I like it.
Look, I mean, for $1,100 to dip your toe into sailing, this would be a really cool boat to do it. The Suttermans are neat, fast boats. $1,100 is a deal, and it's located in Deal, Maryland. How about that? But it's got a long shaft outboard that runs great, and says make an offer. I mean, they don't have any interior photos, so Herby, using your own words against you, we have no idea if this is a hot mess below or not. But for $1,100, who cares?
You can assume it is.
Honestly, these boats are racing boats, so it's probably stripped out and gutted for racing. But it's $1,000. Like, go to IKEA, get some chairs.
What?
Sit on them. Like, cut them to fit the hull, screw them into place. Like, it's $1,000.
It says there's a head on board too, so it's got everything you need. And $1,000. I mean, if you used it for 2 seasons and it disintegrated underneath you, at least you had some fun, right? I mean, and you've dipped your toe into sailing. I think it's a cool pick. It is the wild card. She's 25 feet, $1,100. What can go wrong? All right, so everybody, we're gonna add up our scores, and today we're just gonna come up with our first, second, and third place winners, and see who walked away with the Maryland crown today. So stand by, we'll be right back. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we are. We've done some higher math and some accounting work, and we called in a third party to verify the results, and we have a winner. Actually, we don't, we have a tie, but coming in third place, we're gonna get to that in a second. Coming in third place with a grand total of 65.5 points is the beautiful 1985 Sea Sprite 34. So she was number 3. And the tie and this is where it gets confusing, is the Babou and the Krelock at 67.5 points each. So in order to break the tie, we're just going to do a show of hands of which one we would buy. So, Maddie, why don't we start with you?
Let's get their picture up.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Thank you. I'm so excited for this. I forgot. So
I'm a very visual person.
Wait, and also, how much is this Krelock?
The Krelock was
12.5.
12.5.
Yeah.
12,500. The Babou is 20,000. So we're going to throw it to you, Maddie. Which would you buy?
I mean, the Krelock. It's no question for me.
Krelock. More boat, less money. Beautiful boat.
Yeah.
So Herby, you're going with the Krelock too? All right. Well, then it's decided. The Krelock wins.
Which would you have gone?
I think from an aesthetic point only, I would go with the Babou. She's so pretty, and I love the bowsprit. I love the woodwork. But I can live with the Krelock. I'm not gonna rain on the parade here. I think she's a beautiful boat, and I think she's a great blue water cruiser. So second place, the Babou, and coming in first this week, hot, the 1977 37-foot Krelock, located in Easton, Maryland, for $12,500. Nice work, Maddie. Hey guys, that was super fun. There it is, the crown.
I win. I just want that to be. It's important for the viewers to know that I win.
You know what? Take the win. You deserve it. That's a great pick, and really appreciate you guys joining me today. That was a lot of fun.
So much fun. Thank you for having us. I loved this. It was so fun seeing, because Herby and I, we didn't show each other our picks beforehand. So we didn't know what each other had picked.
Yeah, and then she pulls out like this gorgeous boat for no money. I'm like, how? Like, I was trying to find boats that were over 30 feet, and there were, as you saw, almost 40 grand. And then, bam, 37 foot for 12.
So, I mean, this is a fun game. This is...
Go out of state, but this one is in Maryland. So.
Yeah, there's that too. This one deserved it. Thank you so much for having us on and playing this game with us. And who knows, the buyer of these boats may be watching us today. That would be pretty cool.
And hopefully they'll take us all for a spin.
That would be great. We deserve it.
Yeah, we helped them find the boat. You're welcome.
Exactly. All right, guys, thank you so much. Thanks for tuning in, everybody, and we'll see you next week.
Across the damn thing, we don't care. Catamaran goes anywhere. Both for sailing in our modest vessels, waves we wrestle, making all the